Hey everyone, how's it going? Spencer here with another car review, and today we're taking a look at a 2019 Subaru Outback Limited. Wanted to wait a little bit before I gave you guys this review. I've driven about 2,400 miles on this car so far, so I have a little bit more of an understanding of kind of what the car's about, since some of you who are subscribers have mentioned before, give it some time, all that. So wanted to give it some good amount of time before I gave you some of my thoughts. This will just be kind of a quick overview. I'm going to go through the car, get a little bit of driving footage, drone footage like always, and then eventually I'll get into some of the other features with the eyesight and things like that. So if you're interested in more of the eyesight and kind of features that this car has in particular, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to make more kind of videos about that tech. Definitely want to make one about the eyesight and show you how the adaptive cruise control and things like that work. So please stay tuned, subscribe if you have not already. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and jump into this review of the 2019 Subaru Outback. Alright, so we'll go ahead and walk around the car real quick. We'll start with the driver's side. This is a black on black, like I was saying, in 2019. And it is limited, so you'll see the little bit different wheels and tires. Coming around to the front, it's more, I'd say, rounded off than the previous generation. It's also got updated headlights, which look very nice. So this has a kind of a Hawkeye look now, kind of like some of the older Subarus. It's going to be LED surrounding, your projector beam bulb, high beams, turn signals, as well as fog lamps, driving lights, whatever you want to call them. They're super bright, help light up the way, which is nice. This is kind of cool. Only weird thing is when you're in drive, this will turn on. So if you have the motor on, it won't basically just turn on. You can flick it on to the nighttime setting without having the headlights on, and it's like a dimmer LED, which I'll show, but just kind of interesting. I think it's only for driving lights is why they do it, but kind of interesting. Nice looking grille across the front. No kind of sensors or anything in there. A little bit of air dam below there, and then you have the plastic cladding for more of a rugged look. It could be usable if you hit some curbs and stuff, but wouldn't recommend it. Nice looking side there. On the front, I do have a clear bra on the front. It's, I don't know, probably 18 inches or so from the front of the hood. Covers the entire front, which is nice, so no rock chips or anything will be getting up front, which is super nice. Tires here, you'll see they are all seasons. They're a Bridgestone Dueler. This is the specific limited wheel, so it's got the aluminum with the black kind of mix there, and they are 18-inch. They're 225/60s 18, so good size, but I kind of like this combo. It looks nice with nice meaty rubber, so helps with the ride quality, handling, things like that. Coming down below on the side here, you'll see the little Outback logo. It's kind of funny, this has been on Subarus for years. I remember even the 2010 generation, this has been on there, so kind of cool that they are keeping that going. It's kind of neat. I mean, obviously it's an Outback, but kind of cool. Part of the limited trim, you get the LED turn signals in the mirrors, as well as heated exterior mirrors, and you'll see that right here. Very nice looking. Your gas tanks on the passenger side. Racks up top here actually flip out. There's a little switch, and they just flip over. Super usable. I think that's a fantastic design. I don't know why more car makers don't do that. It's kind of a pain in the rear to have to go buy racks for different cars and things like that, so I definitely appreciate that. Up top you'll see the Sirius XM as well as the Subaru Starlink antenna for all the wireless connectivity. Kind of a backside angle, super nice. We'll go ahead and start off by jumping into the rear here. It's all electronic gate. It's got a backup camera as well. So you just press that little button. You can use your key fob. Opens up super nice and wide. The one gripe I have about it, it's electric, so this is kind of slow. This is the actuator that makes it go up and down. It's nice that it's electric, but I mean, it's not like it's a heavy tailgate necessarily, so I think it's kind of interesting that it takes super long, but little complaints. comes with this little cargo cover. The cargo cover actually stores underneath, which I think is super cool. You can lift up all your mats and everything, and it'll actually go and fit across the entire back. Mine came with the all-weather floor mats, so you see the Outback right there. It's got the normal mats back here. Lots of trunk space. Could definitely fit a couple pairs of golf clubs or skis, bikes, all that kind of stuff. These here on the back will basically put the rear seats down, which is nice. And on this side, I'll move some of that stuff out of the way. On this side, you'll see the subwoofer for the Harman Kardon system, another standard feature on the Limited. Go ahead and close this up, and you'll see it go down. Like I was saying, it's kind of slow. Now, another feature of the Limited, it comes with the push to start, like the wireless key access system. So you'll see the fob here. Pretty nice looking. It's very simple. It's pretty streamlined, which is nice. So when it's in a pocket, it's nothing crazy. You have lock up top, middle, unlock, and then your trunk release, which is power, like I was saying down below. So by having this in your pocket, purse, anywhere basically within proximity of the sensor here, you can lock it by just pressing the door handle. You'll see the mirrors will blink, it'll make a noise, and then when you go to unlock it, you'll just grab the handle. You'll see the mirrors blink in there, and it unlocks all the doors, so that's kind of nice. All leather trim, which I think is very nice. This is like finally up to standards, in my opinion, when you're paying this much for a car. I think it's a phenomenal value. Back in the day, I remember I have some videos on my YouTube about how bad the quality is on Subaru, but this car definitely changes that perspective for me. So show you that real quick. I'm going to start by starting it up here, and then I'm going to show you guys the hood. So the hood release is right here, and I'll just crank it on, like I was saying, push to start. So we'll press the button. Very nice looking gauges. And then we'll go ahead and open the hood release here, make sure the headlights are turned on, and show you that real quick. Put that window down. It'll beep a few times letting us know that we've basically exited the vehicle with the proximity key. Nice projector beam bulbs, like I was saying, and then the nice driving lamps down below there. LED housing as well, super bright. Go ahead and show you that. Should just be this one here. It'll get brighter as you drive, but there's a good look at it. It's still super bright LED. I think it looks really cool, especially on a car like this. So go ahead and open up this hood. And what's cool is it's got actuators. So you no longer have to deal with like the little hood release prop and all that. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but here it is. It's a 2.5 liter. Don't quote me exactly. I'll edit it in the comments or in the description if I need, but it should be about 175 horsepower. Pretty similar in torque. CVT transmission, so not the quickest car, but not too bad for what it is. Go ahead and close this up. And let's take a look at the interior. Like I was saying, it's all soft touch materials. Even the plastics up above the trim here is actually soft touch, which feels very nice. I do wish that this was maybe like a leather wrapped, because when I'm putting my arm up there for driving, it kind of gets a little bit uncomfortable in the elbow, but that's probably the worst of it. All front 2 automatic windows, rear power windows, of course. You have your mirror controls, lock and unlock, automatic seat control, which is part of the Limited as far as I know, which is super cool. So you just set it and forget it essentially for 1 and 2 passenger. Harman Kardon down below, so they say it's a 12 speaker system. I haven't found that many speakers. I'm assuming they're counting the little woofer, the exterior woofer, as well as the little speaker kind of in the middle too. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I wish they would be a little more specific and clear on that kind of audio guy, so would like to know. But anyways, Subaru down below there on the kick plate. You have nice all-weather floor mats. They're a little dirty right now. A couple buttons on the side of the steering wheel here. You have your traction control off. You have your blind spot monitoring system off. Lane keep assist off. Collision assist off. You can set the memory as well as press the rear trunk release. And then of course you have your dimming for the instrument cluster. Again, soft touch up above. You see your stitching. Nice leather wrap steering wheel. Seat controls, all leather wrap, super supportive. You have your lumbar as well. But yeah, it looks nice with the white stitching on the black seats. That's actually why I went with black. I wanted to go with the lighter ivory interior. but I think the black is pretty slick if you ask me. And I'm not a huge fan of black, so definitely changed my mind. When you close the door, it's very solid. I mean, you can hear that again. It's a solid thunk, which I think is very nice. You sit up nice and high. Great visibility on the side mirrors here, as well as the big windshield all the way across to the other mirror on the other side, as well as those little windows. So very nice. You'll see the leather wrapped, or not, I guess it's soft touch. It's more of a plastic with the stitching, but leather wrapped door on the other side there is what I was meaning to say. Dual zone climate. I'll run through this pretty quick. I mean, I think this stuff's pretty standard for Subaru. This is updated for 19. So you have the dual zone, which is super nice. You can sync it or unsync it, so it'll be on different zones, which is cool. And then you have modes, all that kind of stuff, auto. 3-stage heated seats for driver and passenger. And they get pretty toasty. Coming up above here, you have your Subaru Starlink. I think this has changed. It's more, I'd say it's quicker to respond, a little bit better than last year's, and apparently there's new software, which is nice. You have the home button there. This is the main screen. You have phone. My phone is connected, so it'll show kind of information about it. You can dial numbers, recents, keypad, all sorts of stuff in there, which is very neat. You can also use the voice actuation, and that works very well in my opinion. Apps on the side, it'll show you apps. My favorite's Travel Link through SiriusXM. It'll show you price of gas, kind of where it's at. You can call them if you want, all that kind of stuff, which I think is pretty cool. You can choose by brand. You also have sports down below, so you can select the league. It'll give you sports information, stocks, and then weather is one of my favorites. At the bottom of weather, you have ski report, and you can choose your location. We are indeed in Colorado. Just for giggles, we'll go Arapahoe Basin since they're open. It'll show you 47, show you base, summit, new snow depth 18. Pretty cool. I think that's kind of a neat little feature. And then you can go to radio, things like that. So it's pretty cool. You also have car info. It'll show you, like, when you're in drive and driving, it'll show you where the power is going to the wheels. And then when you're not in drive, it'll just be the car. Vehicle monitor, you can do maintenance in here. Bunch of cool stuff like that. Very easy to use. It's very seamless. You can also do CarPlay just by plugging in your USB, and you can do your navigation up there. So I think they've done a very nice job with that. It's very easy to use, and to me, I opted out of getting navigation for the specific reason of having CarPlay. It's just easy to use that way. Down below here, you have a little storage pocket. Have some sunglasses in there. That's where you're going to find your 2 USB ports, as well as your auxiliary in, and then a 12 volt down below. Your CVT shift controller, pretty easy. It's leather wrapped. So you can also have manual mode. When you go up to reverse, there's that reverse camera there. Park, of course, and then your electronic parking brake. You also have X mode, which is like a hill descent control. It gives you a little bit more power and torque off-road, is my understanding. And then your hill assist control, so you'll tap that, and it'll help you accelerate on steep hills. Again, I think it just turns on the e-brake and helps you accelerate at steep distances, or steep grades rather. So pretty cool. Up at the top there, you have the gauges. Shows you a bunch of different information. Of course, has a trip computer, miles to empty, your average, time, temperature, all that kind of stuff, what you're listening to. All sorts of stuff. You have volume control, music control over there, phone, and then all your eyesight information, as well as your cruise control on the right side. I'll go more in depth on this, so like I said, stay tuned for that, but for now we're just going to go through the rest of the car. Coming around to the back of the car, we're going to go ahead and open it up here. You'll see a lot of similarities to the front. It's that leather wrapped, nice soft touch trim throughout. Seats are pretty supportive. You have the ability to collapse the seat all the way, or you can just adjust the backrest. So there's a couple different inclinations, so to speak. Like I said, it'll fold down flat. Try and get it in focus. So if you have bigger items and need to store them, you can definitely do that. Good headroom overall. I'm going to go ahead and sit in here. The seat is set for me. I'm a little under 6 foot tall. In the back seat, you can see there's a ton of room. I mean, probably a good couple inches there, and you can still stretch out, feel comfortable. Down below, something I love, you have 2 USB ports for charging, and then each rear occupant has heated seats. So that's pretty cool. You have your climbing up above and then your rear heated seats, which is super nice. Good space throughout. Like I was saying, good headroom, nice visibility throughout. Of course, you have a little cup holders as well as a armrest, which is padded. So back seat is not a bad place to be, and you'll see the nice view out of the front. So this is about a quarter throttle. You can see it's not super quick getting up to speed. It's not bad, it's not great. Your tachometer's kind of all over the place. But then it's quiet. If you just listen, it's just quiet. And that's what I appreciate the most. It's easy to drive too. You know, it's easy to keep in the lane. It has the lane keep assist, which makes it obviously a dream to drive as far as, you know, it doesn't feel like it's a lot to handle on the road. But the other thing, like I said, is it's very easy visibility wise, and you sit up high, which is nice, so it doesn't feel like you're, you know, a low car or anything like that. I think that's one of the things that I love about it the most. Okay, so I'm accelerating currently maybe a quarter of the way down throttle wise, and it gets up and goes for the most part. 40, 45, you know, getting up to 50 right at the speed limit. So it's not bad, but that's one of my biggest complaints. My biggest complaint with this car is a couple of the complaints that I have so far. And again, it's not to rail on the car, so take this lightheartedly. The engine, but I knew that getting into it, and the transmission, it's a CVT. I really truly think that they could do better with the transmission by it not being a CVT. I think they could do a lot better if they just did an automatic, but I get it because a lot of it's for fuel economy, so I understand that. But the other part of it is the motor. So it's a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, and that has a little bit of an issue getting up to speed. So I don't know, I'm around a mile above sea level, so I think that's kind of plays into it a little bit. It struggles a little bit to get up to speed. So engine, transmission, the CVT is good because it's quiet and it seems seamless, and I think on this generation that's much better. On some of the previous models, it definitely was not up to par, so to speak. So I think that's a lot better off. Okay, so all in all, Subaru has really improved their build quality. I have actually a video, I don't know, a couple years ago or so, saying how awful the build quality was, how, you know, they weren't reliable, and all this stuff. So I'm going to keep you updated the more I drive this car to let you know kind of how it goes. I mean, it's already got 2,400 miles on it, which I think is a pretty good amount of miles. So with that being said, I feel like I can have a pretty good justification of how I feel about the car so far. And again, like I said, I think I'm very impressed so far with the build quality. It's quiet, which was one of the biggest gripes about Subaru. The build quality is very nice. It being a limited, it has better suspension, so the ride is very smooth, very soft, feels planted with the symmetrical all-wheel drive. I think they fixed a lot of the issues that I've really disliked in the past, like the front actuators on the hood. It's stuff like that you just wouldn't necessarily think about that Subaru has put in there. And I think a lot of that comes down to they asked for a lot of surveys. And at first I'm like, why are they doing this? I think this is dumb. And I understand it more now that it gets true customer feedback, and from people like me who live with the car every day and have questions, concerns, things, you know, ways to improve the vehicle. I think that's why they really do a lot of the surveys and ask questions and want to figure out, you know, the best way possible to fix the problem, so to speak. So I think that's great, and I think that's kind of putting Subaru back up in the rankings for me personally. If you're looking at an Outback and you're looking, you know, maybe just get a new Subaru, or you're welcoming yourself into the Subaru family, I highly recommend the Outback. Personally, I went from an Impreza back in the day to an Outback now, and I think it's well worth investing a little bit more money and getting like a higher quality, nicer car. It's their flagship, so to speak. And with that being said, it's definitely improved quality, a lot of features, a lot of standard features, and for the money, it seems like a very good value, which Subaru always has been, but this car is no exception. So stay tuned for more videos about the tech. I really don't have a whole lot of bad things to say. Like I was saying, it's mainly transmission and engine, which I knew what I was getting myself into when I got into it. It's just slow off the line, a little sluggish, but if you know how to kind of feather the pedal in the CVT, it's actually a pretty nice little transmission engine combo. It can go 80, 85 on the freeway, no problem, and still get 30 miles per gallon, and that's primarily why I did it. It needed some better gas mileage, and this tends to do that, and it also runs at 85. So I have lots that I could talk about, but I'd like to hear your guys' questions. Please let me know down below what you think of the video. Ask some questions about the car, and like I said, stay tuned and subscribe, as I will be including more videos about tech and lots of other features about the Subaru Outback and lots of other cars. So thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya.